What's going on, you guys? My name is Alex. I am a real estate investor, and I want to make these videos to help share with you the things I'm learning, the struggles I'm having, and hopefully you can take something from this and use it to propel yourself down the path, a little faster than I was able to. So let's get into it. This was my first zero down multifamily deal. So I had one zero down single family deal previously, but this is my first multifamily. Deal overview. This one was in Dubuque, Iowa. It's a duplex, like I said. I found it off market. This one's kind of a cool deal, actually. I didn't actually buy the house. I bought the business that owned the house, which has pluses and minuses, but we'll talk about that. And then my exit strategy on this is just a long-term rental. It's a good cash flowing property. I really like it, so definitely just going to keep it as a long-term rental. So how I found it, off-market lead generation. A lot of people don't really understand how to get off-market deals. The only way they really know is to look on what Zillow has available and stuff, and that's great. There's definitely deals on Zillow, but sometimes they're just not enough or they're not good enough deals. So what you want to do is go off-market in that time. So it's pretty simple. Just basically a three-step process most of the time. Just get a list of people that might need your help, and then just get their contact information, and then ask them if you can help. So that's literally it. You don't have to overcomplicate it. So yeah, different ways to just reach out to them. A lot of people do cold call, they text, they put mailers. Um, Door knocking, if you're brave, you can do paid ads, you can do bandit signs, just a bunch of different ways to ultimately get in contact with people who, like I said, might need your help. So how I did it on this property specifically, I went and found a list of every vacant house in Dubuque, actually. And then from there, I just picked up the phone and hand dialed every single one of them. So I was out there using my literal cell phone and going on truepeoplesearch.com and getting like 9 phone numbers that were pretty much always junk, but then just punching it in, dial them 3 times, always triple dial, just dialing them. And that took so long. Now I'd probably use a dialer. You can just get like a piece of software or something that they can call like 3 numbers at a time, or automatically punches in the number for you and calls the next one to really save a bunch of time. But if you literally have like $0, then you can do it exactly like how I did it. Got the free list, got the free phone number, and just used my own cell phone. So okay, how I structured it to get $0 out of pocket. So like I said, I actually bought the business and not the house, but the business owned the house. So kind of cool. The business actually had a forgivable loan against it, based on that property, because that property had some work done to it, I believe, by the city. There was some sort of a grant situation going on where basically, if the property changed owners in that forgivable time period, they had to pay like $25,000 or something along those lines. So they really did not want to do that. So we kind of worked out this deal here. So like I said, took over the business, and it had a existing loan on that house. So I ended up just taking over that loan. The owner went out and got a second mortgage on that house to help cash them out their equity, right? So the bank then came in and gave them up to like, I don't know what they'll do, like 75, 80% of the equity on the property. They took that money out tax free, so they got a good chunk there. And then on that remaining equity, now I just pay them every single month. So they just finance that to me. And then there was also a renovation, and there's always like closing costs and inspections and all that miscellaneous stuff. So for the renovation, this property needed like just a basic cleanup. I think I put like 10 or so grand into it. But like I said, I don't want to use any of my own money. So what I actually did, went out and borrowed money for the renovation, did that, and then I got the owner to reimburse me the renovation costs. So went and borrowed money for the renovation, did that, had the owner reimburse me for the renovation costs, and then they just financed that to me. Went and paid back that private money lender, and then for the additional closing costs and et cetera and stuff, just went out and found another private money lender, and now they still get like a monthly payment every single month on that property. So underwriting it, I just at that point I knew I could get it done without any of my own money, so I just needed to make sure it cash flowed. So yeah, if I can find a deal that doesn't cost me anything, it's just some work, and then it still cash flows, that's kind of how I decided it's definitely going to be a good deal at that point. So I did put in $500 here for cash needed. Otherwise, it makes the whole spreadsheet crazy. But yeah, I mean, when you are looking at deals, I would say a lot of people bring me deals and stuff and say, hey, I got a crazy deal. And they're really just forgetting to include a lot of their expenses. So you never want to forget like maintenance, management, vacancy, capex. Those are the major ones I see getting forgot about. Maintenance, the tenant's gonna overflow the toilet. They're gonna break the handle off XYZ. The light's gonna stop working or whatever. So you just gotta be ready for that. Put some money away for that. Management, most management companies charge around 10%. So that's what I that's what I account for. And even if you're gonna self-manage, I would still definitely put some sort of management expense in there, because if you're looking at it as an investment, you need to be paying yourself for that work, because you don't want to just buy a job, right? So you want to definitely buy an investment. And right now I am managing it myself, but at any point, if I wanted to, then I could just go hire out a management company, and then it would already be accounted for and everything would be all good. And then vacancy, like obviously the tenant's going to move out at some point, right? So they're going to probably make a mess, and you're going to not get a month's rent because you're cleaning it up or whatever happens. So make sure to save up for that. And then capital expenditures. So eventually, all the big ticket items are going to wear out, like the furnace, the water heater, the roof, the windows. Eventually, those stuff you're going to need to replace. So always, every single month, be putting away a little bit of money in like a war chest, so you're ready for when those big ticket items pop up. Yeah, and then like I said, the renovation was pretty minor. Unfortunately, I didn't get a ton of great pictures because I was not thinking ahead. But yeah, just quick little bathroom remodel. You can see we did the flooring, new toilet, just cleaned the place up. We might have done something with the tub. I do not remember. Vanity is pretty rotten out. Put a new vanity in there. Yeah, just like I said, it's minor stuff. We redid the carpet, painted it. There was a bunch of drywall and plaster work too. We fixed all that up. Cleaned up the kitchen. Nothing major. And then a lot of people ask me, like, why would a seller ever do all that crazy nonsense? And really, there's a couple of reasons why. And I think the most obvious one is I can pay more money when I do it that way. If I were to have to just buy this property cash, my offer would be way lower, because cash offers are pretty expensive. Like I would have to go get a private money lender, or a hard money lender, excuse me. They charge crazy interest rates. They charge points. Then there's all this other nonsense that comes along with that, appraisals and draws, and it's very expensive. So the offer has to be way lower. And then they're going to pay less in taxes too. Like if they were to just sell it straight out and they get a chunk of money in their pocket, they're going to have to pay capital gains on all that. So this way, with them taking out debt, that's tax free. With me paying them over time, they're really only taxed on the money they receive. So taxed much, much less. And they're motivated to sell. They wanted to start downsizing. They had a whole bunch of rentals, and they're just looking to get a little bit of the management headache off, one by one. So they're motivated. They're going to get a higher price. They're going to save less in taxes. But the major reason is it was just rapport and relationship. So people expect that you're going to call somebody and like do a one-call close on a crazy creative deal like this. No, this was like probably months and months, and I want to say like hundreds of phone calls and so much time spent with these people and building that rapport and building that relationship. And at the end of that, they trust me, and like we're friends now, and we still text. And whenever I have property management questions and stuff, I definitely text them and I reach out, and I'm super grateful for all their advice and everything they've taught me so far. So that's really what it is. People hop on a phone call and then they're like, will you do seller finance or something? And the other person's like, no. And they're like, oh, okay. So don't do that. Like, just follow up, be consistent, build that rapport. And yeah, that's how you're going to get a lot of these deals. So my exit strategy, like I said, just going to make it a long-term rental. So kind of like a burr on this one, because eventually I'm going to refinance it, pay out the seller all their stuff. So buy, renovate, rent, and then eventually I will refinance, get some money, and then I'll repeat that. And then I'm just going to keep it as a long-term rental because it's a super solid building, cash flow as well. So I'm not going to try to like flip it or do anything else with it. So lessons I learned here, again, it's just every time I do an off-market deal, I just get a little bit better at it, get a better understanding of things I need to do, how to make it more efficient, how to make it more cost effective and stuff. So off market is great. That's kind of what I'm focusing on at the moment. I do some on market as well. The renovation, obviously, every time you do a renovation, you just get a little bit better at it. You get more knowledge about what things cost, how to interact with contractors, what paperwork you need to set up in place and everything. And then the major thing is relationships. Like this was definitely huge for me. So this would definitely not have happened if I would not have been consistent. Would not have happened if I didn't follow up. Had like I said, hundreds of phone calls with this person, and built that relationship and spent time in their dining room and sat down at their kitchen table with them and all that stuff. So it's all about relationships for sure. Especially when you're doing these crazy deals, you need to have that rapport. You need to have that confidence. You need to show them you're consistent and you're credible. And then the mindset shift. So this is just another one. The more and more I do stuff like this, I start to change how I think about the real estate. So this is the second property I bought with literally zero money. So that is something that I know it's hard to make that jive in your head. But definitely you don't need money to buy real estate. You need effort, you need skills, you need persistency, you need consistency, that sort of thing. So yeah, that's all I got here. Definitely let me know what you'd like to see more of. I can dig more into the off-market stuff. I can keep going into more of my properties. I can keep going into more stuff to do on the phones. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you took something from it that is useful to you, and see you on the next one.